Autoblogging AI. So Autoblogging AI is very well known. As the name suggests, it's an auto blogger, and it's backed by some of the biggest names in SEO, guys. Okay, so some very well known people here. I mean, and even their kind of intro testimonial is from Julian Goldie, right? So the fact that these people are recommended it means it should be really good. And well, let's get into it, right? So first of all, I was already kind of annoyed with it, with the sign up process, the fact that it makes you sign up twice. Once for your subscription and another one for the platform. And then when I tried to generate an article, it said it had no credits. And that's because I had to go back into my email and find a code and then paste the code into the settings here to get started, okay? I was already a little bit annoyed about that, but look, we can forgive that, right, if the platform is good. It's kind of a strange UI, and what I mean by that, there's no kind of flow to the UX. You know, what I want to see from good software design is, okay, I do something and then next, and it takes me to the next thing, takes me to the next thing, takes me to the next thing, and then finish, like a natural flow. It's kind of all over the place. You'll see what I mean in a second, okay? But let's go to the bread and butter first of all, right? So the SEO scores, first of all, so it had a monster score on the first article, really, really good, okay, 79, I believe it was one of the highest, and it had top 10 scores overall. It didn't do so well on the second article. The 59 was quite poor, and they did reasonably well on the third article for 64. But the reason why it's so low down, well, one of the reasons why it's so low down is that it had by far the worst readability of any of the writers on this list, okay? It had post-grad level on Hemingway app, okay, which is, a really kind of difficult to read technicals, language, complicated sentences, complicated structure, okay? And it wasn't just the worst rating for one article. All three were terrible. It was the worst outright in terms of readability. And when I was reading through the articles myself, it was just full of AI buzzwords and dead giveaways, okay? That is one of the reasons why it's marked down so lowly. I was really disappointed with the output. So let's go back to Autoblogging for a second, okay? So I fiddled around with the settings to try and, because when I do these tests, right, guys, I usually do one like straight out of the box, and then I do one with some of the settings, and I do another one with all the settings, okay? Just in the interest of fairness, I try and keep it as consistent as possible, okay? So I turned on the God mode, which is the SERP analysis. So I love that. It does take more credits, but for me, like, that is a really good thing to have. And when we generated the article, so, okay, let's put in another keyword here now, right? Let's just say best dog treats for puppies, okay? And I'm going to leave these, I'm going to turn these on. I'm going to leave this one off for now because I don't think it made that much difference, to be honest with you. Well, it generated a really good SEO score off the bat, so I will say this is worth using. And with I suppose I can use this and put in some options here, but I just want to do it like out of the box, right, just to kind of show you, right? So we're going to generate an article now like this. And I think, like, usually when I do this, I walk away, I come back, right? And when I came back, I wasn't actually sure what had happened, right? Because it doesn't take you to like another screen. There's no pop-up or anything like that. So it's kind of like, have I done this wrong? So I was doing it again. And then I realized it's this kind of green text here. Article generation in process, okay? I mean, that's quite poor. And the fact that I can't see anything else here, okay? I have to go to another tab, which is here, and then pick which article I tried to produce, right? So, I don't know, this one, okay? And this is where I had other ones. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look now at one of the articles, right? So the readability on this was absolutely terrible. Look at this opening here. Sustainable gardening represents a significant approach to cultivating a flourishing ecosystem. Say that again? Yeah, like they really, really need to work on their output, okay? So even though like the SEO scores like weren't the worst in the world, the readability of the articles was by far the worst of any writer on this list. So it might be backed by big names in SEO and it might have testimonials here, there and everywhere, but for me, I could not recommend this for SEO as it stands, and I hope it improves in the future.